Okay, so um, what I did was just open up a blank page. I'll
Mhm.
show you here. So I thought what I would do as a tutorial for me, just talking about things or seeing these static images doesn't necessarily help. I like to be able to just go through and see. Um, Watch somebody do something tends to have it land a bit deeper. So this is just, what I should have started from the front, the very start. Okay, I'm going to close this. So all I did here, these are all, remember when I said it, like I have done a lot. These are all the things. This is everything I've created.
It's all yours, right? It's your
This
design.
is this is all mine, all mine. And this is really just going from yeah, some of this is going back. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. I've created a lot of
Mhm.
things. And you can see here under projects that these are the folders
Mhm.
that I have created. So, just the sound healing course that I created, I've got 5 different PowerPoints in there. The social media cards that I put up for the Soul Alchemist for the cycles, I've got them all in there as well. So you can create folders to put things in. I've got
Mhm.
somewhere in here. Oh yeah, donning the rainbow cloak, and anyway. So there's all that. But if we go back to home, I'm just going to get rid of that one. Let's start totally from scratch. So you can decide what it is that you're going to make. If you're doing a Facebook post, they've already created the aspect ratio of it so that it's that there's a Facebook one, I think there's an Instagram one somewhere which has a different, it's square rather than more of a rectangle. So I usually for all of the collages that I do, I just use the Facebook post one.
Mhm.
That sizing works for me. And so you can start with here, from here, looking at, you know, along the side, starting to add elements and backgrounds and things like that. Or now I should say I do have a premium account. So
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
pay for Canva. And it is a little bit expensive for the year, but you can see how much I've created, right? And it just gives me access to, more images, more videos, sound, and things like that. So it's worth it for me. So where it says here, like premium
And how
template,
much premium account cost, Tiffany, if you can
I
tell?
can't remember. I think it might be about 100 and US, like it about a hundred
Mhm.
dollars. And if I'm not sure if I was doing it just for fun, but I don't know. I mean, you sort of determine, but for me, because of all the content that I make, it is worth it for me to have that.
You mean
So like
100 monthly, right? You 100 monthly.
that would be for the year.
On it's then it's great. I don't think it's expensive because
Yeah.
many courses they actually mention that it's better if you got the premium of
Yes.
Canva because you
Yeah.
have so much more with like little investment. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So this, for example, this is somebody else's, right? This is a template, and I could use this and just, so you can see when you highlight things where the purple line is, that's telling you the element that you have highlighted. So if I click on that, and where is it? That's the background, I guess it is. And then if like for this one, for example, you click on it and it's
Mhm.
highlighted this text here, and then it gives you these little options. I never use magic write. I never use comment. I never lock. It's
Mhm.
really just these two that I use. If I wanted to duplicate it, and then I can just move it around where I want. If I don't, oh, and highlighting that is you know, then you're just changing the wording of it, just editing. But if I want to get rid of it, that's obviously um,
Mm-hmm.
the trash can. So if you've done something and it's like, oh, darn it, I didn't mean to do that. You go up to this top bar and this little undo arrow.
Yeah, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So it's just
important to
kind of
know.
knowing where things are. As I say, I don't tend to use, I don't really ever resize every once in a while, maybe when I've done created a whole
Mm-hmm.
thing on the Facebook post, but I also want to do it as an Instagram post, then you can it'll just resize it to the proper frame. But I don't really use that very often, and I don't really go into this either. But I do use the backwards button.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other thing is, so I'm just going to get rid of this completely. That was the background. Getting rid of that. Getting rid of that. So now I've gotten rid of that template and we just have a blank page. And the elements that I use the most are background and elements, text, and uploads. Those are
Mm-hmm.
probably what I use the most. And I mean, background is self-explanatory. You can go through and pick kind of pre-made ones. It'll cover, oh, I didn't get rid of this new release. Let's get rid of that. It'll cover the whole background like a wash. And so then anything that you build is going up from that
Yeah, on top of that, yeah.
on
Mm-hmm.
top of that. Oh, we're there. But also, if you just want it to be a color, again, just that wash. But the other thing that I like about the colors, I use it sometimes is these gradients. And
Mm-hmm.
and there is a way of working with the gradients as well. Okay, so I've got the gradient on there, and you can see when I click on that, that up there, it's saying these are the colors in your background. If you want to work with them a little bit, then you can. This is something that I've just started to work with. Um, oh yes. So if I were to look at that and say I want that to be darker, and then that one I want to be lighter,
Oh, it's cool.
right? And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you can change it to anything. But it's like, okay, I actually want it to be more green and going into maybe more blue, but then maybe more darker blue. So there are look, that's kind of cool, isn't it?
No,
So
I
there are
like
those
that. It's
options
really
as
cool.
well.
Mhm.
Yeah. That when you click on the little circle there, it's saying that's your background. And if you want to change it at all, you can go into the colors or you can go back into the background and
Mhm.
maybe we'll put flowers there instead. Right?
But these images you found before, right? Because these images already exist because you used them. It says recently used, right?
Well, these ones up here recently used, but these two are only recently used because I just used them
Uh,
in
okay.
showing you. Like anything you click on, it's going to put up there. And I will say, um, yeah, I haven't necessarily used them. Sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, no, I don't really like that one, and I'll move to something else, but it's still going to show it in your recently used because you did try it out.
Mm.
But it's uh a nice shortcut.
But I have question. Who made
Yep.
these choices for this background? Is actually what site giving to you? This site giving to you these options,
Yeah.
right? It's what you
Canva
have.
put those there. I
Canva
didn't
put.
put those
Okay.
there. No, I didn't put those there. So what I do, and this is I mean, there are some lovely ones there, and I have used some. Um, obviously. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that I used that one. I used this one, I think, for the traversing the liminal to make the video for the retreat that I had. So there are some really nice ones there. I think, where is it? Those are all the, okay. So the other is looking at the uploads. So, and again, I've got so many things here, but these are my photos or things that I've
Mhm.
found that I've uploaded to Canva to use.
Mhm.
So you can see the video that I made about all the collages that I've made. Well, I had to upload um, all of my collages because I just had them on a file on my computer. So I
Mhm.
uploaded
Mhm.
all the files to Canva.
Mhm.
So you can see when I clicked on that, it doesn't fill the whole page like the background does. But once I've got it on the page, I can start to manipulate with it, manipulate it. So to upload a file, so you click on upload. And it takes you to, so, oh yeah, I did this in Canva. Um, so let's just see these boots. So it's uploaded a picture that was on my computer.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then I can put it, obviously use it in the design. So one of the things, okay, so I'll just put that one over there. Or I can go to elements and put a search in there for yellow
Boots.
boots.
Mhm.
And they'll show you graphics if you
Yeah.
want something that's like drawn. Oh, I quite like that actually. Or photos.
Water. Yeah.
And
Cool.
so they just look a little bit more realistic. Those are quite nice as well. Right? So those are all different depending on what you're looking for. But you
Mhm.
can see here the difference. Like if I'm wanting to okay, so let's just say that the collage that I want to do is something about connecting to confidence in you know traversing challenging terrain. So let me type mountain uh, and see here. Okay, so let's look at this mountain. But what I can do is start to shift. So you can see how it's got the edging on it there. If I want to make the whole thing bigger, I can pull it from the side, one of the corners. Or if I want to just shift how much of it I'm seeing, I can use these lines that are sort of midline. So if I were to make this. So I made it really big and it's covering up my boots. So here's another thing
Mhm.
which is really super handy. I don't know if you can, so I'm just gonna pull this in there a little bit. So I'm, I've clicked, I'm on the mountain
Mhm.
because it's taking up pretty
Yeah.
much the whole frame. I'm right clicking on it and it brings up all of these options. This is right click. I mean, I sometimes use these, sometimes, but it actually took a long time before I did. Where I go to with the right click is this layering. because you've got a background, one pair of boots, another pair of boots, a mountain. These are all
Mhm.
sitting over each other.
On each
And
other.
I don't
Yeah.
want the mountain to be the front part of it. I want that to
Uh-huh.
be the back. So I send it to the back. And
Okay.
now it's not going to go back further than the background. The background is always the background. But whatever I send to the back is going to go as close to the background as it can get. So now I can see my boots again.
Mhm.
So these ones I could actually make, you know, teeny tiny and put them up here
Uh-huh.
as if
Uh-huh.
they're walking up the mountain.
Mhm.
So that's just working with layers and sizing.
Yeah,
But the
and
other
moving, shifting
and
images
and moving it.
on the
Oh,
way
right.
you'd
So
like to. Mhm.
thank you. So what I did with this is I left click on it and then I move it around. If I were to right click on it, it brings up this option again. But left clicking on it, left clicking and holding it down allows me to move it around with the mouse. So the other
Mhm.
thing, how's
I
that
have
so
actually my computer is MacBook Pro. I think I gonna operate a little bit different because I have
Yeah,
MacBook
I
Pro.
don't I don't I don't talk Apple. I
Yeah,
used to,
I
but I
think I
don't
think
anymore.
here is
So it
likely
it
maybe
might be a
even
little bit different.
yeah, I can see that. But I think it's even easier, could be, because I also
It
like,
probably
when I
is.
started to use Apple, I was thinking, oh God, and now I just love it. I cannot imagine anything else.
Yeah. I think especially for creative things, it's really, really good. So, yeah, so that's just looking at I don't, I don't really use audio. I'm starting to a little bit with making videos, but for the most part, it's just looking at the where are we at here? There,
It's actually, yes, it is easy. And if you need text, you click on
there we go.
text, you can put some text on top of that. It's good. You can manipulate with layers, you moving up front or in the back, or kind of
Yeah.
like, you're doing this stuff. If you need to release image, you also can do this, right? Just a yellow boots. If you don't need them, just a bright
You
one,
click
shiny
on it. Yeah. Oh,
one.
so yeah, I want to show you
Shiny
something
one, yeah,
about the
if you,
shiny ones.
yeah, yeah.
So
No, I'm just saying.
this is a thing that I love. This changed my life. It's BG Remover.
Mm.
You click on that and it takes the background off of the image. So it's like, you know what? Actually, without that white there, I like these boots better than these boots. So I'm going to get rid of these boots. I'm going to put
Mm.
these boots. But actually, you know what? I don't even like both of these boots. The only boot I like is this front boot. So I click background remover again, and it takes me to this. So
Mhm.
erase and restore. Erase, I can change the size of the brush and let's just take that right out of there. I don't even want that.
Wonderful. This is
Like that.
interesting.
And then it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, the dog hit my hand and what have I done? Because I actually want that part in. So then I go back into restore. I might make that a little bit smaller and I can bring this back in again. So that restores it. But there's a little piece there. I want to make this, I do want it to be a little cleaner than that. So I can make it bigger, just change the sizing of it. Go back to erase, make the brush size smaller, and just go a little more exactly in there. Just do it a little bit more carefully. So there. So there.
Mhm.
And then when I go back, then it's just the one boot.
Yeah.
smaller, go over there, let's do that. Oh yeah, sorry, I should have said that. So these little arrows, you can change
Rotate.
the
Mhm.
rotation. So there we are there. These boots were made for walking. There we go. So that's, and then with text, going into text. So I usually always just do this one, a little bit of body. And these boots. So with this, um, you can all the things, right? All the things you can do. You can go in and change the font. I'm gonna say glacial indifference. No, maybe not. Maybe I'll do something fancier. Like this McCainley. Okay, so there's that, and then you can change the size of it, and you can change the color of it. Oh, right. So the other thing is, I love this. You can go to all of the different colors that are available, or you can go to, this sort of rainbow chart to figure out which color. Or it'll tell you, sort of pick out the key colors of what is already in your image. So if I want my font to be the same color as the boots, and it's picking out the exact same color, then I
Mm.
would just pick from there. So there's that. Or there's also, oh, I should also say, so in here, right. This is something which I only recently started to work with, but if you go
Mm.
into effects, then, so say I want this to be a bit curvy. Let's
Purely,
move
yeah.
this up. I want the curve to actually go the other way. Maybe not be quite so much. And then I can move the text to be over here and over here. There we go. So you can do effects on the fonts as well. Or they do have sort of pre-done, like flash sale, and you can go in and change the words that are here, like so these. I don't know where the sale is though. So anyways, I would, if I were using this one, I would, if I ungroup, and I can pull this one down. So that's the other thing too, is that if it's like I've done all of these elements
Mhm.
and these, I've done all these elements, but I like the way that they are, but I don't want them in that spot. I want them somewhere else. Then again, and it might be different with a Mac, but I click and then I hold down the shift key and I click again and I click again. So it's chosen all of those, and then I let go of the shift key and I say group. So now all those elements are one element.
Mm.
But if
You
it's like,
combine.
okay,
Mhm.
what's that?
You combined these
I
two and
combined them.
now it's one. Mhm.
Yeah, so then I can, say, okay, well, I actually want that so small. You know what? I want it teeny tiny, as if it's just over there. And then if I wanted to move just one, then I can ungroup it. And so then I can just move one element again. So you can do that with words, you can do that with images. The last thing that I think just to get started with um, is frames. So we go back up to elements and type in frame. So there's these types of frames, which is just like, this is just a frame, right? There we go. These boots. So that would be under graphics. But if you go to these types of frames that have this little landscapey type thing in it, this is where you can actually insert a photo or an element into that frame.
Frame, yeah.
So if I want to, let's see, let's put this one at the bottom, as if it's a, as if it's a little movie happening, and go back to elements. Oh, you know what? And so let's do yellow boot again. And with photos, I'm going to put this one in there. And this one in there. And let's see, put this one over here. There. So now it's actually in that frame. I only learned about that maybe about 6 months ago, and it
Mhm.
changed everything as well. So, oh,
And
right.
how you learning, Tiffany? You learning simply practicing, simply trying by yourself, or you
Yeah.
taking courses? You
No, I
trying.
haven't taken any courses. No. I just practice, I just fool around. So here's the other thing, and this is another thing that I have been um just starting to play around with. So like here, because this frame has taken over, like I want those boots, I can't get to them. So, sometimes you have to move an element away. Now I'm going to make a copy. I'm going to duplicate that boot, put that boot over there, move my little frame back over there, because what I want to do with this boot, I don't want it to all be about yellow boots. I want to see if we can do something funky with a boot. So, this is where this edit comes in. And as I
Mhm.
said, most of it is background remover, which I use, but I've started to not start, I mean, for quite a while, using these filters. So it can shift.
Cool.
Oh, amethyst. Oh! Or heat wave. So anyways, now I'm just falling in love with these purple boots. You're a little bit limited. You can't be hugely uh like these are the color options that I have. It's like, oh, I want this color, but I want it to be just maybe a little greener. It's not going to let me. It's that color. I can use that color. Um Although I guess the intensity, I guess I can shift it a little bit about how much I want it to be. Um so I quite love working with that as well, with these filters. Um, I think that's about it. I haven't really, again, to play around, like magic, uh, oh no, not grab text. I wasn't going to do that. Um, magic grab. That was one. Sorry, do it for this one. Um, magic grab. So here I can, it's letting you know, is there an element that you want to just pull out? So I just want to grab this out of it. So then I can actually take this out and put it somewhere else if I want, or just get rid of it completely. So there's kind of cool stuff that you can do with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got the idea. You have a lots of images and you have to learn how to create layers, how to remove certain stuff, how to move around, how to take half of picture out. Yeah, it's actually lots of to learn, but how you say, you have to just play. You have to just play and see what
Yeah,
happens.
and I also find it's in some ways it's almost collaborative. Like as with, whether when I was doing these classes and it was like, newspaper or not newspapers, but magazines and, scissors and tape, you're faced with this blank piece of paper and you just start kind of adding stuff and it starts to come together. It starts to grow. Um, and there are certain things where if I go back to the uploads, like, you know, this started with just this house in the background. And you're like, it's you sort of, oh, maybe I want a tree. Do I want a tree? Maybe I want a tree. And you go into elements and you look under tree. And and as you're looking through all, well, which tree do I want? Do I want looking at the photos that as you're looking at it, it's actually starting to, I find, inform the creative process itself. That choosing this tree is going to end up leading to other types of inspiration, whereas choosing this tree is going to have that, above and below, and so it's the process of even starting to put things together. Like even with this, right? Like, oh, let's just start with a yellow boot, whatever. Well, let's start with the mountain. And like this is actually starting to say something. There is a bit of a story here, especially if we get rid of these guys.
Yeah, for
um
sure.
that I have walked in all of these are all different snapshots of my life, but out of that there's this one sort of essence, this one energy that is highlighted, that has been the source of my strength in all of my challenges. Like it's starting to say something. Oh, here's another thing too. One more thing. Transparency. So
Yeah.
this is at a, this is full 100%, but we can fade it out.
Oh, it's interesting. Wow.
Isn't that great? And so
No, it is
if
great. Wow.
this would almost be like there's this, look at that. And then I can layer that. Can I send that back a little bit? But we want this back even further. Right? So when I said send to back, it sent it right to the back, which meant it was behind
Mhm.
the mountain, but I didn't want it behind the mountain. I wanted it in front of the mountain, but behind the frames. So I had to just find a little corner of the mountain that could bring that highlighted and then send that to the back, which brought this forward. So look at that. I kind of love that collage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And it's saying something.
absolutely, absolutely. How you said this is already a story. You created this story just right now. You
Yeah.
create the story with just by playing with images and put layer by layer and yeah,
And this is the thing too, is that so part of what I love where it feels like it's collaborative as well is that, and this is why I encourage people in taking this class, all of these soul pilgrimage courses is is to do the collage because as you're doing it, the insights and the clarity, the realizations come through. It's like, oh my gosh, I was so focused on just walking through all of these experiences. And as I'm working on the collage, I'm sort of realizing that there was this undercurrent energy support that has always given shape to the way in which I enter into these experiences. And that came, well, I mean, just by way of, sort of example, but it's like coming to a crystallization of what how the soul is speaking to you through the process of creating the collage itself.
yeah, definitely. No, it's
Yeah,
it's really really kind of part of because we create always, we aware or not aware, even lots of time people create unconsciously. They just have no clue what they creating, but they creating, right? And the
right,
more conscious you become about that, then you become more not like on control, but you doing more what you really care for, right? You
right.
creating from your heart, from your true essence. This is the beauty, when you do this consciously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Beautiful. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these guys out because I just want these boots. Here's the okay, so this is the last thing, which is to download. So uh so it's great that it's on my Canva. Um, but and I've had people share because you can uh add people or send a link. But for me, I prefer if people if they want to share it with me, which they're welcome to do. Well, which I have been doing for class anyways, because then I upload it so that people can see. Um, and I tend to do it as a JPEG download, and then it just downloads it to my desktop. Because if you share a link with me, then your images get stored on my Canva. And
Hmm.
so it starts to, especially with a lot of people sharing, it gets to be just a lot of images. So it's better to download it
Yeah.
and then you can just email it um and it's easier for me to work with in that way. So that's how you get it from Canva down to yours. The other thing too, I will say is that you can get Canva as an app for your phone, and I do have it on my phone. In a pinch, I will use it. It's much harder to work with. I tend to, in truth, um, on my phone, if I'm doing a spread and then I want to put that spread into my Soul Alchemist journal, I will take a picture with my phone of the spread, and then I will go into Canva on my phone, and I will
Hmm.
remove the background from so that it's only showing the cards, it's not showing the carpet. And then I'll send that to myself or just open it up on Canva, on the desktop, and then I can print it out and I've got my spread, all the cards without a background. So that's about the only reason, that I use it on my phone. So I'm gonna stop
I only
share.
want to compliment you, Tiffany. Yeah, okay.
Did I stop the
I
share?
only want to compliment you, Tiffany, because I remember when pandemic started and you started you be online more and more. Every class with you, you said, "Oh, okay, I'm not computer savvy. I don't know what's gonna be. I don't know how." And look how far now you
I
are. It's
know.
unbelievable. For
I
this a few
know.
years, actually, just a few years. It just when
Yeah.
we started all this crap 4 years ago, right? So
Yes,
when
yes.
we cannot just see each other in person and actually you moved, it's also somehow work for you in now teach
Yeah,
online because for you it's only options for Canada, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I will say that so now the next thing that actually I'm gonna stop the recording because that's it for the Canva part of it. Um, so and hopefully it was helpful.